Multiple gunshots are heard from the lobby, possibly 20 to 30 shots. Tree of Life Synagogue. 315, hold the perimeter. We're under fire. We're under fire.
A horrific tragedy at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh into a political hit job. Chris Wallace takes Shep Smith to task for blaming President Trump for inciting violence.
There must be no tolerance for anti-Semitism in America or for any form of religious or racial hatred or prejudice. You know that. You know that very well.
Talking about the wicked ones in the Jewish community that run America, run the government, run the world, own the banks, own the means of communication. They are my enemies.
That's Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam, and as you can see, a known anti-Semite. Why is this relevant? Well, Black Caucus members are supporting Louis Farrakhan and exposing a huge double standard.
White folks are going down.
And yet, Democrat Representatives Al Green and Maxine Waters openly embrace Farrakhan. Literally.
Yeah. Come in kind of close, Congressman Green.
If Republicans weren't so racist, they could encourage black people who are morally conservative to be on their side.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
I need to take a video.
A
You're good.
lawyer for CBS, I have no sympathy for Vegas victims. They're probably Republican.
People who simply saw what needed to be done and came together and supported those ideals who have made the difference. They've marched. They've bled. Yes, some of them have died.
I have a tweet from a teacher. Pray that only Trump-tards die. Seriously?
So what, we voted Trump, so we deserve to die?
What we've got to do is fight in Congress, fight in the courts, fight in the streets.
Fight in the streets. Fight in the streets.
Fight online, fight at the ballot box.
And of course, the lying president said that I had threatened all of his constituents. I did not threaten his constituents, his supporters. I do that all the time, but I didn't do it that time.
Well, you'd think that just a little over a year after a progressive activist showed up with a rifle at a congressional baseball practice to kill Republicans and shot 4 people, Democratic office holders would be wary of talking like this. But they're not. We're their leaders. Nancy Pelosi brags that she will soon be Speaker of the House again, and she may be. Pelosi could do a lot for this country by speaking out against this ominous trend toward violence. It wouldn't take much. Just 5 words. Political violence is never justified. Political violence is never justified.
This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it.
No protester could explain why they were there beyond employing a combination of F words and gesticulating fingers. Not a complete sentence among the cretins. Oddly, their printed signs were articulate, but they weren't. That's what we call a clue.
And we need people like George Soros, who is fearless and willing to step up when it counts. So please join me in welcoming George Soros.
It is the first time that I feel that I need to stand up and do something really and become really engaged in the electoral process in this country.
If you vote for Trump, then you, the voter, you, not Donald Trump, are standing at the border like Nazis.
Never stop believing that fighting.
So keep fighting. So keep fighting. And keep the faith.
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides. There will be, because people have to die.
Let resistance plus persistence
equal progress for our party in the field and online.
In the field.
And I'll be right there with you every step of the way.
It is a very hardcore who are responding to him and supporting him.
Oh, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Get off of her!
She was left with a bloody nose and scratches and bruises. Before the results came in on election night, Jade had posted on Instagram that she hoped Trump would win.
Attacked on his school bus for wearing a Make America Great Again hat. You can see him there. And guess who was suspended after all this? The victim.
You want to build a wall? You want to build a...
The video showed classmates shoving the 12-year-old St. Louis boy while yelling at him for supporting the president. His outraged mother says she is horrified.
A teenage Trump supporter has been brutally harassed online.
One comment I remember, he said we should go clip this, and or what is clip? And clip means we're gonna take you out. I've been referred to as a coon, as a Uncle Tom.
I'm gonna show you. Come on. Okay. Move. Okay. Let's go. Here's your suitcase. Bye. Get your suitcase. No. Elwood, get your suitcase and get out. Bye. No. Go. No. We don't do Donald Trump here. Get your suitcase. Get out. Get out. Here you go.
Mostly the sixth graders do a lot, you know. Yeah.
What do they say to you?
Well, they say they really know me for my golden jacket I love, but then they say, oh, it's Trump girl and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't let it get to me.
So what are the major problems you see in this country?
Immigration, you know, I love immigrants. If they come here legally. I don't like the word illegally. I like legally. And if they're not going to do that, we have to put some precautions.
Did your parents get you involved in politics?
Not really. Actually, my mommy was a Ted Cruz supporter in the primaries. I told her on the primary day of voting, I told her to vote for Trump. She needs to vote for Trump. She didn't listen to me. That's okay. But now, after the primary, she realized the mistake she did. I like Ted Cruz, you know? Just not as much as Donald Trump.
That you cannot be civil.
He is looking like he was paid.
You cannot be civil. That you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again. But until then, the only thing that the Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength. But until then, the only thing that the Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength.
Attacks. Trump supporters, men, women, even the elderly, left this building last night and walked right into danger. Accused Trump of being a racist and hunted down the people that support him.
Looks like you're good. Looks fine.
Yeah, you should be good. You didn't say anything to anybody? You were just walking out, or what?
I was walking out with a Trump sign. They grabbed my Trump sign and started following me, saying I was like a racist and stuff.
Anybody who votes for and supports a racist is a racist.
From you. We got nothing to fucking say to you. Get the fuck away from our... Get out of his face. We don't want anything to do with you. You're fucking...
We're not going to be polite anymore. We're going to fight back.
There's still generations of people, older people, who were born and bred and marinated in it, in that prejudice and racism, and they just have to die.
One Trump supporter got knocked around when a fight broke out.
Are you suggesting that the entire Trump vote was racist and by racists?
I think, yes.
Why did he get his head taken by somebody who dislikes Donald Trump?
A Trump supporter wearing a Build the Wall t-shirt was assaulted by several young men. Fearing for his safety, I yelled at him to get away.
Yeah! Yeah, he voted Trump! Yeah!
Punch some people in the face when they seek to destroy the meek and the disenfranchised and the marginalized. And we will do it all with soul, with heart, and I'm not a Nazi. What are you doing, man?
25% of the country, whether it's 25, 20, 30%, are hardcore racist. They do not want to see brown people coming into America. That's just what's going on here.
This guy with the MAGA hat was surrounded by a mob of irate Black Lives Matter agitators. This guy was racially abused for supporting Trump. This Vietnam veteran was shot in the leg because he supports
people
Trump.
of color who are attacked by their fellow citizens who feel emboldened to be publicly racist. Because the president is. His supporters, what does it say about you? About you? Violent scuffles ensued, all of this becoming a part of a pattern of unrest fueled by antagonism and divisive rhetoric.
You know, this is tough stuff.
This guy's now been arrested, and he has quite a little rap sheet. He's got a past arrest for DWI, marijuana, burglary, so he's not a good guy, and he's been fired from his job.
See anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you create a crowd, and you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We believe survivors. God bless you.
Let my wife go.
Shame! Shame!
Soft fascists. They're not Nazis.
Have a wonderful day.
Asshole! You don't care about working people.
And look, it's predominantly white women. Let's just be clear about that. I won women. I lost white women.
Confronted as she showed her support for Donald Trump and his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You continue to make excuses for this man for his vile behavior. Doesn't that make you just as bad, if not worse?
But when I see women doing that, I think, why are they publicly disrespecting themselves?
We're developing stories here on a forum.
I'm terrified.
First of all, it was like a male feminist came and stomped on my hand. I was trying to get your hat because he threw your hat.
He took my hat
That
right
was
off my... This lone female Trump supporter tried to stand her ground. Her sign torn from her hands, her glasses ripped off, then shoved in her face.
Why are you trying to block me? I'm fucking trying to walk here.
I obey traffic signals.
You're a fucking snarky little fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up.
Try something, bitch.
I'm not gonna punch you. I'm not like your husband. I'm not gonna punch you.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not like your boyfriend or your top boyfriend who's gonna fucking knock you out, so don't worry.
My husband died in 9/11.
Hey, good for him. Good. Good. Those NYPD were a bunch of fucking sodomizing immigrants with their bully sticks. So yeah, your husband probably fucking should rot in the grave.
But when I see women doing that, I think, why are they publicly disrespecting themselves?
She put me through a lot in 12 years.
Took a lot to take the test. I had to take a polygraph. And she passed, which forever destroyed my faith in polygraphs.
It's horrible, you know, because she's supposed to be for women and children, and here she is saying, well, I know they did it, but I defended them anyway.
Why are they publicly disrespecting themselves? Why are they opening the door to have someone say that about them in their workplace, in a community setting? Do they not see the connection
She
there?
says she's the champion of women's rights and gay rights. She's never criticized the practices of these countries and took their money. How corrupt, Is that hypocrisy?
I'm very pleased to welcome His Royal Highness here to the State Department. He is here on a very important visit, having already met many high officials in the White House and at the Pentagon and elsewhere in our government. Many high officials in the White House and at the Pentagon and elsewhere in our government. So keep fighting and keep the faith. And I'll be right there with you every step of the way.